you too easy to follow and for me easy to explain. So if you can't see my PowerPoint or if you can't hear me, please let Bante know so then I could see what the problem is. So Bante, could you see the PowerPoint?
Not as yet.
Not as it. Okay.
Yes, it is coming now.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I know this is going to be, we're going to have a practical session at the end of the theoretical explanation. However, uh, because of the topic and because of the given time, so I may have to do some sort of short meditations during the session. So you will understand what I mean. So the four foundation of mindfulness, day 4. So first of all, what is Dhammānupassanā? So, if I shortly explain that, it's very difficult to put into English. However, contemplating on state of mind or mental activities or mental state and insightfully observing mind activities in the mind. So because you already laid the foundation stone doing contemplation on body, contemplation on feelings, contemplation on thoughts. So then what is Dhamma? That is, Dhamma means, now we may get wrong meaning because we got Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So in that respect, Dhamma means Buddha's whole teaching. But in terms of contemplating on mindfulness, the Dhamma means all conditioned things, or we call in Pali Sankara, and unconditioned things which we call Nirvana. So then what are the mental objects or mental activities we have to contemplate on? In deeper sense, there are 108, but it's been put into 5 groups. So we are trying to consider 27 objects today, but still we may not able to go through all 27 objects, but I try my best just to cover the most important part of the Dhammānupassanā. Okay, then what are the 5 groups? So we got 5 hindrances, 5 aggregates, 6 sense-based, 7 factors of enlightenment, and the 4 noble truths. Okay, so these are the dhammas we will have to contemplate on. So now Buddha says, Sabbe Dhamma Anattati Yada Panyaya Passati Atanibindyati Dukke Esamaggo Visuddhya. So it means when one perceives with wisdom all the dhammas are without self, then one turns away from suffering. This is the path of purification. So therefore, before we start the session, we need to know the aim, why we have to do this, why we have to contemplate on these hindrances aggregates, sense-based, factors of enlightenment and 4 noble truths. Now we understand, I know you know this one, we are just maybe refreshing your knowledge. Maybe there can be some beginners. Okay, so we need to observe them and perceive with wisdom. So we're going to talk about what wisdom in the once the session going on. But please remember, like Bante mentioned, you can ask questions during the question time. So therefore, it is easy for me to pull back this PowerPoint presentation. Then you know where to ask questions from. Okay, now could you kindly, because I want to first practice and show you what exactly Dhamma is in real life. So would you mind kindly close your eyes, please, now. Okay, please close your eyes. Just stay 1 minute concentrating to your mind. Not to breath, not to feelings, not to anything else, not to the surroundings, to your mind. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Because we do meditation classes. So you've been doing meditation since maybe you were a child, or sometimes you were a young person. So, but meditation is not exactly doing something cross legs and close eyes. So therefore, meditation has to be applied in daily practice. Okay, now I know what you have experienced whenever you closing eyes. Now I am going to divide the time into 3 parts. So we got past time, we got future time, and we got present time. Now, if I am going to ask you, what did you do in the past before you closing your eyes? What did you do in the past before you closing your eyes? You may say, I prepared for the Satipatthana session, and then I had a cup of tea, and then I came to my meditation room, and then I logged onto the Zoom platform. Then Kamal, Bante gave an explanation, and Kamal asked us to close eyes. So now, what is this? I am going to say this is a dream, like you woke up from a dream. And if I ask you, what did you see in the dream? You may say, I did see this, I did see that. Same as that, you saying to me what you did, what you have done before you closing eyes. So, but that belongs to past time. So it means they are mental objects, mental activities, what was going in our mind. They're not present now. So it means all these mental objects being in the past, we can't get them back to the present moment. Then if I ask what you're going to do in the future, after this meditation session, you may say, okay, we will do questionnaire, then we're going to log out from the Zoom, then I will stretch my arms, legs, then I'll have a cup of tea again, I'll join my family and just do day-to-day stuff. So then what is that? I would say that's also a dream because it's not happening right now. So you're going to fantasize and then you just say what you're going to do in the future. So future also we can't get back to now. I am trying to explain the reality and mind created objects. Okay, now I am going to divide the present time into 2 groups. Now, if I ask you to put your hands like this, yeah, so please put your hands like this. And can you tell me, I mean, you don't have to tell me, can you think what you got behind your eyes? Definitely you can say that. So I can say there is a window, there is a light, there is a chair. So things like that. Yeah. So it means, how do I say that? So that also mind created because you knew that before. It's also a dream. It's been in your mind, but you just reading your mind. So you're reading your past mind. Okay, then if I ask you what you got in front of you, open eyes, you can easily say, I got my laptop, I got my tab, or I got my PC, my computer, I got my Zoom platform. So what are they? I would say they also mind-created object, because you've been told by someone when since you were a child or since you were young, or the computer master. So this is the computer, this is the chair, this is the door. So it means all these are, ladies and gentlemen, with great respect to Bhante Panyavansa, they are mental objects. So it means our past, our future, and then the present moment. If we don't use the reality, if you don't experience the reality, they all are belongs to a dream. So it's like, I would say, mirage like, because you just see the things what you got in the mind. So it means, if why it's happening, because our our mind being covered uh, by delusion. So therefore, we can't see the absolute reality, so which we call ayoniso manasikara. Now, can you please see this picture now with open eyes? So you can see a man, you can see a baby, you can see a woman. Yeah, but first half a minute, please stare at this picture. Okay, now picture gone. Can you see that picture is still in your mind? So you have still this picture in mind. Exactly, you can describe who are the people were on the picture. Okay, a man, woman, and a baby. So it means you, now when you open eyes, you still can remember. So then what is wrong with that? They are the hindrance to see the reality, because we are keeping these objects in our mind. We carry it away from the past. So it means we are carrying things from the past and we think about the future. So therefore, what we need to do, so we need to use yoniso manasikara. Because of wrong view, wrong intention, wrong attention, we keeping things in our mind, thinking about these objects. Okay. So then we're going to start to contemplate and talk about these 5 groups, if you could. So number 1, 6 sense base and how to complete on. I take that for a reason before hindrances. So it means we got eye and visual form, ear and sounds, nose and smells, tongue and taste, body and tactile objects, and mind and mental objects. So now what's happening now? So our eye, our ear, our nose, our tongue, our body, and our mind. So we got them on us. And then we got outside forms, sounds, smells, taste, tactile objects, and mental objects. Okay, but mental objects, of course, not outside. Then what's happening? Our mind, when these 2 things are available, our mind being attracted by these objects for vision, for sounds, for smell, for taste, for tactile objectives. It means the tactile sensation, and then we got thoughts. So it means even we in the present moment, like we were closing our eyes, even these other forms are not working. So still our mind is working. Mind is thinking about the past and mind is thinking about the future. So then what is wrong with this? So Buddha said in Chappana Sutra, he took 6 animals. He said, we take 6 animals from different range and different habitat, and we put them on, tie them on ropes, and then we get these, all the other ends of the ropes together and put a tie. And then these animals are trying to go to their habitat one by one. So who is stronger? Trying to pull the rope to their habitat. Same as that Buddha said. So our eye, our ear, our nose, our tongue, our body, so they are pulling us toward these visions, sounds, smells, taste, and objects. Yeah. So then let's see what's wrong with that. So whenever there is a connection between the organs, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and then availability of the external objects or the thoughts, we are making bonds, or we call this attachment. So then once Rahat Saripus is taking example and said, there are two cows, one is white cow and the other one is black cow. So they are tied on the same rope in two sides. So whenever we see from outside, we can see white cow is trying to pull the black cow to her side, and black cow is trying to pull the white cow to her side. So, but that's not the case. If you break the rope, they become independent. So it means white cow is going to the wherever she wants to go, and black cow is going where she wanted to go. So it means the problem is not the eye and visual form. Problem is not the ear and sound. Problem is not the nose and smells, but the bond in between. Okay. So then that's why we have a bond. So therefore we need to think now. So what should we do with this eye and visual form? How can we contemplate on? Because we got eye, we got visual form. When we see, just say we take a sound. If you had the sound, so it means you make connection with your ear. So then you make attachment. Okay, so when you had the smell, you have nose. In the presence of nose and smell and nose consciousness, you making attachment. But that is the problem. So then what we need to do, because these are the one obstructing our mental development, making memory loss, remove your Dhamma eye, or we call a Chakku Karani, and remove your concentration. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, when we start our practical session, what we will have to do in terms of to develop our yoniso manasikara and see the things as they are, see the real picture, see the true nature of the things. We need to contemplate. So what we need to do, the eye and visual form arise. So it means you got in our not outside. So you can see, you got your eye, then visual form arise. So then once you close your eyes, you can see, yes, that baby, that woman, that man is in your mind. So it means you need to contemplate on them. Then the fetter arises due to eye and the visual form. So it means the problem is again not the object you have in your mind created object, but the fetter. So it's mean the attachment. So therefore we need to try the break the rope. Then white cow and black cow can go on their own directions. Then how the non-arising fetter arises. So it means if there have been not fetter, but it's been arise now. So it means attachment being arise. So it means maybe towards smell, maybe towards sound, maybe towards vision. And then how the rise and fetter disappears. So if you see this picture, if you see this mental activity with yoniso manasikara, and if you could understand why it's happened, not because of presence of them, but I visual form, I consciousness go together and given a fetter. So therefore we need to understand how it disappears. So then none arising in the future of the abundant fetters overcome. Because now the mechanism. Because the problem is not the white cow and black cow. The problem is the rope in between. So then, but Buddha said pajanati. So what we mean by pajanati is not just knowing, you knowing insightfully. So insightfully you need to know. So this is the way we're going to contemplate when we start our practical session. Okay, so it means then we move on to 5 hindrances. So we got sensory desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and remorse and doubt. So what we mean by sensory desire? So it means we seen the picture. Yeah, so we seen a baby, just say we seen the baby or the woman or the man. So then you, even now they're all gone. Now you just, they are not here, but still these dhammas are in our mind as visual forms. And then you are making fetter inside of your mind. So then we start to have sensual desire, attachment to that. So therefore we call it sensual desire. So this sensual desire could be again to any sound, any smell, any taste, any tactile sensation, or any in a visual form. So it means then we understood that there has been a sensory desire in our mind. So which is the attachment. Okay, now let's see then what we could do. So if there has been sensory desire, yeah, so what we need to do, sorry. So then we're going to contemplate on, okay, just say while you closing your eyes, you remembered any visual object or any noise, any sound or any smell. So then you know sensual desires is in your mind. So you need to know that pajanati, and you know sensual desire is not in your mind if it's not there. And then you know non-arising sensual desires arising. See, now you close your eyes because your other organs are not working. So therefore predominantly your mind is working. Then mind is started to think about the past or think about the future. And because mind being fed by future and the past. So then you're going to work on what you seen, what you heard, what you smell. Then you need to know whether they are arising or whether they are not arising. And you know non-arising sensual desires disappearing. And you know non-arising in the future, the abundant sensual desire comes to be. So this is the way we need to contemplate on 5 hindrances. Now, ill will, that's also the same. That is the opposite of sensual desire. So then you're going to have anger. Okay, let's take example now. Okay, now how else we could contemplate? Now you can see a palm or hand on this picture. Okay, so once you see in this picture, so even you close your eyes, so this picture is going to be as a mental created object in your mind. So just say, if this palm, this hand being with the skin, just say very beautiful, very nice, yeah, very nice hand. So straight away, you have attachment to do, attachment towards the hand, so to the visual objects. So then that attachment may cause many other things, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So this attachment, now if you could understand, this is a hand, but this hand is built up with 4 greater elements. Yeah. So therefore, because the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, we see only the aspect of beauty. We don't see the decaying aspect of this hand. Yeah. So, but if you clearly see, you can see here the skeleton. But if you see the skeleton, I am sure you're not going to be attached to this anymore. But once it's covered with the nice skin and muscles and fascia, so we don't see the right, the tooth being already covered, tooth being already closed. So therefore, what we need to do, because I said you need to know how it disappears. I mean, it won't disappear just like that when you had sensual desire, unless you contemplate insightfully, it won't be disappeared. So it may remain in your mind. So what we need to do, we need to know the impermanent characteristic of this palm, this hand. Then you know it's built up from three uh, the solidity, liquidity, heat, and motion. So therefore, they are subject to decay. So therefore, no point to attach to them. So this is one method. The other method is you can see in your mind this mental object arise and suddenly disappears. So it means if something is arising and disappearing, so what is the point of attaching to them? Because like Bante one day told me, now we are attached not to the things, we are attached to the mental picture which we form in our mind. So therefore, whenever you contemplate, whether it is an object or whether it is a desire, whether it is ill will, so we need to see a rising feature and ceasing feature, and then impermanence nature. So like Buddha said, each Dhammas is no self. It means they don't take as if they are yours. So it means if they're not yours, if they're changing, what is the point of getting attached to them? What is the point of getting detached to them? It was aversion. So then we don't have to attach and we don't have to push them away either. So therefore, when we contemplate, we need to know the decaying quality, or we could use the asubhaya or decaying quality for sensual desire and loving kindness for ill will. However, this is going to be a temporary meditation, because if you're just going to see the decaying quality, and if you try to use the loving kindness as antidote for ill will, it may not last long. Because once you finish your meditation, or even in the daily life, if you use this method, it may not last long. So therefore, you need to develop this to insight meditation and see these mental pictures, any mental formation, physical, verbal, or mental formations are arising and ceasing. So if they arise and cease, we should not try to attach to them or get detached from them. Okay, so therefore, the ill will also we need to contemplate on same way. So it means whenever we got angry, just say, I'll give you example. Now just say you were trying to, okay. Now in my meditation class, I had a lady called Mrs. H. So Mrs. H been prescribed meditation to get her blood pressure and cholesterol down. So, but she did not have any stress or anything like that. So then she came to the meditation, but after some time, because she was in her 70s, she could not continue meditation sitting. Then I prescribed her walking meditation. Then she started to do walking meditation in her own house. That was before COVID. Then one day she came to me and said, my next class, Kamal, I'm sorry, I can't do meditation because my puppy dog is coming behind me. So therefore she is obstructing my meditation. Then I said to her, Mrs. H, don't worry, as long as you don't keep your dog in your mind, let her come behind you, you see the front. She agreed. Then after some time, she came to me and said, Kamal, sorry, now she is overtaking me, she is going in front of me, so she is obstructing my meditation. I said, okay, Mrs. H, so don't look at her. Even if you see the dog, don't keep dog in your mind because you are not attached to the dog. The dog is not the obstruction element, but your mind. You have a feeling. So you may think dog is annoying you, but don't you know that you are annoying the dog because your mentality, your ill will is the one you think obstructing your meditation. So unfortunately, after 3 months' time, she came again, and what she was saying, Kamal, my dog passed away. Then she was crying and then burst to tears. And she said, because of my vet surgeon's mistreatment, she died. And she was very angry with the vet surgeon, and she was still attached to the dog. Then I asked her, okay, now just tell me why you are crying, Mrs. Heather. Because she died. I said, no, you're crying not because your dog died, because she was alive. When she was alive, you remember what she did. So therefore you keeping those thoughts in your mind, and that's why you crying. And I said again, you are not crying because the dog has died, but you're crying because you don't have dog in the future. Then you start to remember, I can't do this anything with dog now. She's not coming with me to go for a walk. So therefore, stay present, Mrs. Heather, because dog is not here now, and dog has already passed away. You are crying because dog lived with you. You crying with your past memories and future fantasies. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we need to remember, if we can bring our mind to the present moment, we have very less problems. Because the problems we try to live with the past and future. Okay, so then why these five hindrances occur? Now, so what are the five hindrances again? This is a very complicated topic, very wide topic. So the five hindrances are sensory desire, ill will. So sloth and torpor means dullness, heaviness in the body and dullness in the mind. Whenever you start meditation, first you may have, they're not coming one by one, one after the other. So first you may have sensory desire. So you may think this chair is not comfortable for me. If I had the cushion, that would have been better. This is not the right place for meditation. Yeah. So sensory desire, then ill will. Then you start to have anger because you get angry with your body parts, maybe your joints pain, maybe you're not happy with your posture, you're not happy with the meditation master, then you develop ill will. So then after that, because you're not happy, then you're going to have your dullness in your mind and heaviness in your body. And then finally you become restless and remorse, it means worry. You become restless, you don't know what to do. You want to stay, you don't want to stay, you can't stand up, it's embarrassing. And then you started to worry. Then after that, just to please yourself, you start to develop a doubt. What's that? Doubt about Buddha, doubt about Dhamma, doubt about Sangha, doubt about nirvana, doubt about meditation, doubt about paticca samuppada or original genesis. So then you started to have doubt. So what we need to do then, Whenever sensory desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and remorse and doubt arise in the mind, you just know insightfully it has arise. And once it has not arise, you know it's not arise. And if it disappears, you know it's arise, but it disappears now. So if you see the arising and ceasing characteristic, you're not going to attach to that, or you're not going to push that away. Okay, then let's see why, who is making these hindrances. Okay, that is ego, feeling of self. We have I, me, mind in our mind. So that is the reason you try to take everything on you. Now, Mrs. Heather was thinking, the dog died, all the worries comes to me. But actually, if Mrs. H did not take it personally, did not take it subjectively, she wouldn't be worried. So therefore, if we think our mom, our dad, or someone, our partner or children, someone passed away recently or long time ago, if we have those memories now, it means we are crying, we are worrying because they lived and we can't forget their memories. So these are the dhammas, arise and disappears. But we not crying because they're dead. We cry because of their memories. Otherwise we think, okay, if my mom was alive, so she could help me in my wedding ceremony, or she may look after my children, grandchildren, moms, yeah. So it means you worry not again, please remember, not because of mom, because of your memories. It means the mental creation, your mental objects you have in your mind. So therefore, we need to get rid of not anything else. We need to get rid of memories and think why they are arising, they are disappearing. So then I said, the ego, the selfness is the problem. Okay, let's see what it is. Now, there are things called, 5 aggregates or Pancha Upadana Skandha. So, in the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Wheel of Dharma, Buddha said there are 11, or otherwise in fire sermon, Aditya Pariyaya Sutta, Buddha said there are 11 sufferings. However, Mahanini, Bhikkhu, the 5 aggregates is the suffering in short. So if we can contemplate on 5 aggregate, that would be enough to understand what suffering is. Okay, let's go one by one. So you got material form, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. So I'm going to get an example now, because with examples it's easy to understand. So what would you see on the picture? You see, you may say cute baby. I may not say, well, I may say, because I'm not arahat. So I may say, yes, cute boy, yeah, cute baby. So it means that is number 1. So which is what did we say? Material or physical form. Yeah, so this is the material or physical form. So I seen a baby. Okay, then what's we going to have? We're going to have a feeling towards the baby. So most of you have, I am sure, 99% pleasurable feeling towards her. But the nurse who killed in Manchester 10 babies last month, she may not have pleasurable feeling. So she definitely have unpleasurable feeling. See, therefore, the problem is not with the baby, because you are having pleasurable feeling, whereas the particular nurse had unpleasurable feeling, and she killed 10 babies giving injections. So it means the problem is not with the object, problem is with your perception. So I normally call the perception. It means just say you seen the baby, then you had a pleasurable feeling towards her, toward him, and the nurse had unpleasurable feeling towards baby. So then what you going to do now? You're going to build up perception. So I call normally perception adjectives and adverbs. You're going to put adjective and say, nice baby, cute baby, lovely baby. And then that woman, that nurse may say, ugly baby. Yeah, so I don't like the baby. Yeah, who is this? Is not a baby. So you build up perception. So it means it's been a baby. So baby is baby. So you had the feeling, pleasurable feeling, then you're going to perceive the baby. So that's what we call perception. Okay, let me put that then for you to understand. Yeah. So then we see in the baby, material or physical form. It means the baby and your eye connected with presence of eye consciousness, you seen as a nice baby. So you had a feeling and perception. So what you're going to do now, if it was us, so we try to think about the baby. Oh, such a nice baby. If I had this baby, if that baby was my grandchild, how I would be happy. What they then do you doing? You making mental formation or chitta sankhara, so which has karmic effect. In case if we died right now, you know where we going, because we had a desire towards this baby, sensory desire, sensual desire, and we had a lovely feeling. We said lovely baby. Now we create mental formation. That's another dharma. So then, not only that, so then you like to talk to baby. You say, oh, nice baby, come on, come to my hand. So what's that? You making verbal formation. So otherwise we call vachi sankara, which also has karmic effect. In case if we died, you know what we're going to have, where are we going? And then still you're not happy. So you want to grab the baby. You want to hold on to the baby and you grab it. Otherwise, we call in Sinhala, Vadaganna baby. So we want to catch the baby, hold the baby with desire, sensory desire. We're making now Kaya Sankara or the body formation. So they all going to be in our mind as mental formation, which causes consciousness. Consciousness means ego consciousness. Now you need to understand if there are two consciousness here. It's not the two consciousness. Actually, it's the same consciousness, but we giving names in two different stages. Now, when you see the baby, yeah, so it means you have your eyes, you have the baby, yeah, outside the baby, inside your eye, your body, and then you have eye consciousness. So therefore you were aware of the baby. But that eye consciousness making only you aware of the baby, then once you had the feeling, perception, mental formation, you put that on you, which I said self. Then you say, I see the baby, I want to hold the baby, I like this baby. So you making is subjective, make yours. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we need to remember, so we have our sense doors, so eyes, nose, taste, the tongue, and then ears, our skin, and our mind. So whenever we catch external sources or thoughts in the mind, we make attachment, a bond. So that bond, desire, and then you have a feeling, pleasurable or unpleasurable feeling or neutral feeling, which leads to give perception, which leads to give mental formation, which has karmic effect. But don't think everything is bad. Now, whenever you offer flowers, whenever you offer dana, they give wholesome mental formation. Yeah, so it means greed, hatred, and delusion are unwholesome, which we explain on these scenarios. But if you do wholesome act, dana, or charity, but in good mind, then it causes you, it gives you mental formation. Still you will be reborn in a good place. But if we died in the desire period, ill will period, on my examples, we would have been born in a bad realm. uh, so so that's the way. Okay, then what we going to do then? So it means we need to contemplate on these mental objects, 5 aggregates. So how do we do that? You know, this is a material form and it arises in this way. So you know now how baby came to your mind. Because the problem is your eye consciousness and the baby attach each other. So we call passa pachaya vedana. It means the context gives you feeling. So what was the feeling? For the nurse, it was unpleasurable feeling. For us, it's pleasurable feeling. But if you know that form disappears, yeah, the form disappears away. Yeah, sorry for the spelling mistake. So it means you know the material form and it arises in this way. The form disappears in this way. How it disappears? Because you understood, you use your insight, your wisdom, that this baby is uh, just a product of 4 great materials, and that baby's picture just came to my mind. So I am not attached to the baby, I am attached to the mental picture, which we call Dhamma. And then when you had feeling about the baby, then you need to know the feeling arises and it disappears in this way. So how does it disappears? It won't be disappears even if you do 2 hours meditation. I mean, meditation is not something you just do it. You need to think about what we're going to accomplish. That's what Buddha wanted from us. I mean, we may say, I've been meditating since I was just say 40 years, but you need to think not how old you are, how long you've been doing meditation, but what have you got? What is the benefit you got? It means once we finish this meditation session today, if you can see the pictures, sounds, if you can hear, taste, smells differently, if you can see, now this is just impermanent nature, this is not self. So if it's not impermanent, it causes suffering, anicca, dukkha, anatta. So therefore think that way when you do meditation. It's not, it won't disappear, you just observing it. You see to observe insightfully. Okay, then perception. So then you're trying to say it's a cute baby. So why we say that? Because it arises, it disappears. So then please be aware how it arises, how it disappears. And then mental formation, also the same. So you wanted to talk, then if you know that you're not going to talk, you're not going to inject to that baby like nurse this, because you know that this is a product of, I mean, is we call conditions. So due to conditions and cause, it appears. So therefore it should disappear same way. And thus this consciousness arises in this way and it disappears in this way. And then if it comes in the future, you need to know how it to be abundant. So therefore, yeah, okay. So we get only 5 more minutes. So unfortunately, I won't be able to go through 7 factors of enlightenment and okay, right. Bante,
Yes.
Bhante, when we supposed to start meditation
We can
session?
start in another 5 minutes if we give them a break right now.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So now the last thing, because as I said, 108 objects. So I tried to cover at least 27. But if you understand how to complete on one of them correctly, then you know how to contemplate on others. But only thing is 7 enlightenment factors to be contemplated a bit differently. Um, so therefore, I'm sure Bhante may organize in the future, and Bhante does classes. He may explain to you. He may have already explained. So therefore, if you had a sensory desire, please see why it's happened, because the presence of eye consciousness and presence of the material form and presence of your eye, you had a dharma in your mind. So it means you made a mental picture. Now I removed the baby. So still you have that baby in your mind. Yeah. So therefore, don't attach to that, because remember the black cow and Sariputta's example, black cow and white cow. Never think the problem is I and the baby. Problem is the fetter, the attachment. So therefore, you need to break the chain. Then after that, you're going to have feeling, okay, pleasurable feeling. Then you need to know it's also appears and disappears. So like Buddha said, because normally what we do when someone died in most of our countries, what we do, we say, just all the, I mean, just around the dead body, you know what's the thing we normally say? We say, aniccavat sankara uppadavaya dhammino uppajjitva nirujjantu te sangupa samosukho. So if we know exactly why we saying that, that is the right Buddhism. So it's not something you need to chant keeping the body around, but that means any mental formation arise, disappears the same way with nothing left. And whoever understand this correctly, so then person see the true nature. So therefore, whenever you see, when you heard, when you smell, when you taste, don't put adjectives and adverbs. So adjective, we can say very nice food. We may say well cooked food. Yeah, cook was cooked very nice. I'm not saying in conventional meaning. I mean, not the mundane meaning I'm talking about. I'm talking about, if you want to see the real true nature, what we need to do. So I'm not asking you to do that, say, don't never say delicious food. That's fine. But the problem is not that. We're going to attach to that adjective. We're going to attach to that uh, adverb. Yeah. So therefore, unfortunately, we won't get much time. So because we need to have the break and start meditation, and then we need to go for the question time. So thank you very much for your attention. So then Bhante would let us know what we do next.
All right. So I think we can go for a break now and then come back in 5 minutes and we can start off with our meditation.
Okay.
Also, if anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them on the chat section and we will come to them during the question and answer session. Thank you. think we can now start, Dr. Kamal.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. So please see the picture. Bante, could we see a picture on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Please see the picture. So, and don't open your eyes, don't close your eyes yet. Sit on a comfortable meditation posture with your head, neck, and body erect. Keep your hands on your lap, on your legs, one over the other. And just 1 minute, concentrate on the picture and imagine this is your meditation venue. So open eyes, please concentrate on the picture. So past gone, future not arise yet. Bring your attention right to this present moment and stare on the picture over a minute. Forget all the talks we had. So they all passed. Forget the question time. It's going to be the future. By hearing the bell, please close your eyes gently. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are planning to contemplate on Dhamma. However, we need to develop a sort of tranquility before that. Then only we can open up our mind and heart, because our mind is still going everywhere like a monkey mind. So now please bring your mind to the present moment and start experiencing the reality with no judgment. So not the mental pictures you had in your mind, because I'm going to put those pictures after meditation session and see whether you could change your relationship with these pictures. And so let us try to develop sort of tranquility. Now please notice your posture, the way you are sitting. In your mind, please notice how you were sitting on your posture from head to toe. Now please see how you're sitting in your mind and how your feet touching the floor or on the cushion. Please feel the contact between your feet and the cushion or the floor mat or the chair. So that is the reality, what you're feeling right now. Experience the reality. Now please bring your attention to your knee joints now and connect your knee joint with your mind. So your whole attention should be on your knee joints. In case if you had any feelings, pleasurable or unpleasurable, just recognize them, don't label them, don't give a psychological aspect to this pain. Let it be there. Connect your mind with your knee joint. If you heard any bell hereafter, do not worry, don't panic. It's just to remind you to bring your attention to the present moment. Now please guide your attention to your tummy. Any sensation, liking or disliking, connect with your mind with no judgment whatsoever. You see what you're experiencing right now, not from the past, not from the future. Remember the exercise we did. And now please bring your attention to your neck. Maybe you feel neck stiffness, tenderness, any itchiness, any throbbing. Just take them non-judgmentally and connect with your mind. This pain is a pain. Don't be anxious because you're anxious. Don't be worried because you worry. Don't be another pain to your pain. Just take it non-judgmentally and connect with your mind. Now please bring your attention to your nostril areas. And 1 minute, we're going to fix our attention at the nostrils. Don't let your mind distract you. Connect your mind at the nostrils. Concentrate at nostrils. Now assume you are a gatekeeper. So you're watching, observing people coming in through the gate and observing people going out through the gate. But you're not going forward and welcome people, and you not go behind them. You're just an observer. So same as that simile, start observing your in-breath and out-breath with no judgment. Don't label. You don't care who the person coming in. You don't care who the person going out. You don't care what's the in-breath. You don't care what's the out-breath. Just observe and notice. So sato assa sati, so sato passa sati. Do not try to reach anywhere or to gain anything. Do not try to achieve anything, to change things, but just be here and now. You're just experiencing only my voice and your breath. Remember, we need to break the robe, so don't make any attachment. Yeah, so this is last reminder before I distract you. Please keep on watching your in-breath and out-breath, but not keeping your attention away from nostrils. In case if you have any problem to watch your breath at the nostrils, you could use two other methods. One is you bring your attention to your tummy and you observe falling and rising in accordance with in-breath and out-breath, or how your chest is contracting and expand, relaxing. So now I let you to watch your breath with no distractions. Please remain alert, attentive, and vigilant. Observe breath, observe, observe with no judgment. So as time running out, so we're going to let breath go and start watching your mind. Unfortunately, the tool to watch the mind is the mind itself. So start watching your mind and see whether any sensual desire in your mind. If nothing comes to your mind, you could remember my pictures, the cute baby, the man, the woman, and the other baby, and see any sensual desire arise. Go as neutral. So they won't come up one by one. Notice if any sensual desire arise. Notice if no sensual desire arise. Notice non-arising sensual desire is arising, and notice arising sensual desire is disappearing. Just observe. So please observe your mind now and see whether any sensual desire appearing, any sensual desire disappearing, any ill will appearing, any ill will disappearing, any dullness in your mind present, any dullness not present, any restlessness in your mind, or there is no restlessness, or any doubt about the meditation or Buddha's teaching, and see their impermanent nature, how they appears, how they disappears. In case if they appears in the future, how we can get rid of them the way we explain in our theoretical session. Don't attach to them. Try to break the chain, the rope. I leave you to meditate with no distractions. Watch your mind. Stay present. Observe your mind, observe your mind. Any sensual desire, any anger, any dullness, any restlessness, any doubt, any feelings, any perception, any mental formation, any consciousness. They won't come like in the book. They may come anyway, anytime. So whatever arises, you observe. Okay, please now hearing the bell, gently open your eyes. Just come to the present moment. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Bhante, I pass over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamal, for that presentation and the guided meditation. So now, if there is anyone who would like to address any questions that they would be having regarding the elucidated topic on Dhammānupassanā today, you may, of course, pop it down on the chat section, and then we can address them to Dr. Kamal.
Any questions or anything you want to clarify? So if I put the PowerPoint, you could see what we were talking about: 5 hindrances, aggregates, sense-based, 7 factors. Of course, we didn't talk about that, and we didn't have time to talk about noble truths either. And we said all the Dhammas are non-self, so therefore we should not keep them on our mind. We should not attach to them. We should not push them away. So please ask any questions if you may have.
We've received one question. Can Dhammānupassanā be practiced without prior learning of Dhamma?
No. The question is, the direct answer. Now, if in my meditation classes, I rarely practice Dhammānupassanā because most of my 99% my meditators are not Buddhist. So unless they had prior knowledge what Dhamma means, if we get into a bus, we need to know where we're going. So otherwise, no point getting into the bus. We don't know where they may take us. So therefore, we need to have understanding what Dhamma means. I'm not underestimating the rest, but the understanding the body is not that difficult. understanding the feeling was not that difficult. If you see in Tripitaka, in Pali Canon, there are more than 2-3 sections talking about everywhere on Dhamma. So therefore, if you don't know what Dhamma is, how they arise, how they disappear, I don't think, I don't know what Bhante says, I don't think we can practice that.
Well, the Dhammānupassanā technique is also, I think, one of the most rarest techniques which we can see in practice within even the monasteries, because it sort of desires so much of knowledge of the Dhamma to really progress in the path of Dhammānupassanā. We have another question from Nirmali. Would it be possible to have another session to include the other areas that Dr. Witharana could not do today, Theron Sannai? Yes, I mean, yes, of course, we could look into that. If there are other people who would like another session, of course, the Dhamma Center can organize another session, of course. Are there any other questions that anyone would like to ask?
Okay, then could you see this picture now, as I promised? So is there any way differently you see the cute boy now? So, I mean, we won't get overnight. I mean, you need to keep on practicing this Dhammānupassanā along with all the other 3 frames of mindfulness. Then you can, I mean, Buddha said, Bhavita Bahuli Kata. So you need to use it every day. Now, according to Harvard University research, we need to practice at least 20 minutes a day over 28 days to get mindfulness benefit. So can anyone change the relationship to this cute boy, your mind? Because we can't change the boy, we can't change our I, but we can change the relationship.
We have another comment. It is more of a comment, I think. I come to realize how important it is to meditate on the fetters. Most teachers direct their teachings on the object, but not the fetters.
Well, we can't discriminate. We need to know the object. I mean, if there are no objects, even eye consciousness is there, so nothing going to happen. So therefore, objects also important. But only thing is we need to understand, because Bhante highlighted me, Dr. Kamal, you need to highlight the fact that not the object, what we have in our mind is the Dhamma. So therefore, forget about the object. I mean, object is object, but the thing is, as long as we don't keep it in our mind, then it won't be a hindrance. Because hindrance is the fetter, but still, if we did not have these two sides, like you said, if we didn't have the white cow, like Sariputta said, black cow, so there won't be a fetter. I mean, there is attachment. So therefore, all 3 are important, but highly important is the fetter. You're absolutely right. But we need to have understanding of all these. I mean, like Bhante said, we don't have to have a Dhamma or very deep understanding of what Dhamma is. But better if we know what it is. For example, Bahya being told only four lines. Buddha said, whatever you see it's like seen. Whatever you heard, you take what you heard, like that. So therefore, if we had the proper wisdom, so we may absorb it very quickly, very fast. It depends on people. That's what Buddha said. This is for the people, depending on their wisdom, how they can absorb them.
With regard to the comment about even the object, because usually the object is used in a way to facilitate the understanding of the causal fetters, really.
Yeah.
I think in last week's talk with the awareness mind and the noting mind, that became a little bit clear, because the focus was not really upon the object, it was on the mind which was aware upon the object. And that is so with most of the other techniques, from anapanasati breathing meditation to the other techniques of vipassana as well. We use the object to learn something great and far deeper about the natural cause and effect of the mind and the body. Isn't it, Doctor?
Yeah, it is. The thing is, Bhante sir, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'm just adding something. Now, just say there can be many objects in our mind. There can be many objects in our bedroom, but we concentrating on one of them at a time. So then we may have fetters. So therefore, the object itself is, we need to understand just to get the right insight. But the problem is the attachment between the object and the sensory door. Because if we had no attachment, if you had no ill will between this, then the object will be there. I'll be here, no problem. But in order to understand, we need to know object is a solidity, a liquidity. So I mean, like we mentioned the palm, because if we can't understand, if we can't do the Dhammānupassanā on the palm, on the hand, we may say very nice hand, lady's hand, I like it, nice skin, nice color. So therefore, Bhante is absolutely right what he was mentioned. So we need to know object itself. But once we know that the object itself, it won't going out from my mind. I need to use the fetter practice.
Mm. Yes. We do have a lot of good feedback on the session, so a lot of people have requested another session, so we will try to organize that for the people who have requested the session. If there are any more questions that anyone else would like to ask, please do pop them on the chat section, and or else I think if we do not have any questions, we can wrap up the session for today.
Only one request, Bhante. So could I make you one request? Don't leave the session on your cushion. Please take it with you.
Yes. So I think that is also, it is a usual saying that we say, isn't it, with in Sinhalese? Yeah. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone, who for joining in. Thank you, Dr. Kamal Witharana, for that very lucid talk session that you offered all our participants. Today, it is going to be the last of the Satipatthana discussion series. Next week, what we are going to have are all of these presenters, the venerables coming together. Dr. Kamal will be there as well. And if there is anything that you have to ask, clarify regarding the whole Satipatthana practice, not just focusing on one Satipatthana, but if there is anything that you would like to clarify or ask the panel that would be present next week, please do bring in questions and be prepared, and with your questions, and we will do as our very best to cover them and to give you a more lucid understanding of what the Satipatthana is and how to practically approach these subjects. We do have a lot of other sessions coming in the months to come. So if you have not already subscribed to the Dhamma Center, please do subscribe to the Dhamma Center, and also you may want to like our Facebook page as well to receive all the live updates of all the sessions to come. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in, and thank you, Dr. Kamal, for that.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Bhante. Yeah.
Lovely.
And
so,
thanks very much to everyone for your feedbacks.
Yes, I will give you a more detailed explanation of the feedback later on, Dr. Kamal.
All right.
But they're looking all positive at the moment.
All right. Thank you very much.
So thank you all, and take care, and have a beautiful rest of the day, and good luck and good wishes with your practice. Take care and goodbye.
Goodbye.